learning from one another. Get a Be Better health plan from Beacon and get simple and affordable medical benefits so you can build a better team. Call 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt for more information.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
It's Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. I'm Odette Campbell. In the headlines this evening, COVID-19 survivor tells a compelling story of how he survived a long, arduous battle with the virus. St. Andrew businesswoman makes passionate appeal for help. Government says assistance is available through the stimulus package. It's not true. The government's response to claims that stimulus grant recipients will be taxed or required to pay back the funds received. Tourism Minister in wait-and-see mode for upcoming cruise season. Grenadian doctor comes home to help local medical team. And nationals in Canada pitch in with supplies. Prime Minister and National Security Minister celebrates the recovery of more than 100 police officers. And let's cross to Prisca, Patterson for a look at what's happening around the region and in the wide and wonderful world of sports.
Good evening, viewers. Coming up in our probe around the globe this evening, Antigua church leaders throw their support behind the COVID-19 vaccines and dismiss the notion that it is the mark of the beast. And in sports, questions continue to linger regarding the West Indies squad named for the T20 Cricket World Cup.
Always questions over those picks. We'll hear about that from Prisca. Patterson. We'll bring you the details of those and other stories right after this message.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
And welcome to the broadcast. Tonight we begin with a throwback to last evening when we brought you the impassioned plea of a small business operator in St. Andrew. A tearful Shamila Charles told the nation about how COVID-19 had brought her business to its knees and that she's worried about how she will survive. GBN's Rena Pay followed up on her story today and went in search of answers. Tonight, she reports that the government says there is financial support for the owners of micro businesses. The administration is also dispelling rumors surrounding the issue of taxation and repayment of grant financing.
The COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat is assuring small and micro business owners who are critically affected by COVID-19 that there is support for them available through the government's stimulus package to help them through this difficult period. The Secretariat, which is presently charged with the responsibility to roll out the initiative, said that persons can simply contact their office to find out how they can receive financial assistance. Deputy Project Officer of the COVID Economic Support Secretariat, Chanel Andrew, made it clear that recipients will not be taxed or required to pay back the grants received.
Persons who have been directly affected, you can come in and apply. You do not have to pay back. I know there's myths about your names will go on a list and they'll target you for tax to pay after. That is totally wrong. Persons who would have benefited from this first stimulus, I'm certain that they could testify that they have not received any letters from the Inland Revenue Division or from the government of Grenada requesting them to pay back the first stimulus disbursement. This stimulus is an incentive to kind of provide support to the vulnerable population and a sense of relief for those who are directly affected. And we are aware that the situation has really deteriorated. Persons are losing their jobs. They do not know how to feed their families. And this is why the government has seen the insight to provide this second phase of the stimulus package to kind of provide some sort of cushion to the economy.
In an attempt to provide support to people and businesses whose livelihood are affected by COVID-19, the government of Grenada has also secured a soft loan of $8.5 million from the Caribbean Development Bank and the International Development Bank to help cushion the impact. External Relations Officer at GDB Small Business Fund, Carla Haywood, says applications had already been received and approved.
Persons have started benefiting, loans have been approved, and funds have been disbursed for these persons. Just a reminder that applicants can only be approved for up to a maximum of $40,000. Our repayment schedule cannot exceed 10 years. And on a case-to-case basis, persons are entitled to a 3-year grace period.
People working in various informal sectors that are seriously impacted by the virus can also receive income support to cushion their burdens, along with payrolls and grant support to the businesses. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
Moving on this evening, a son of the soil has returned to provide humanitarian service to his country. Physician Dr. Philip Bonaparte is spearheading a 3-member team on a 1-week mission. He spoke with GBN's Kristalina John today.
A former student of IFE, renamed the T.A. Marichaud Community College, and graduate of the St. George's University, Dr. Philip Bonaparte, a physician who resides and operates in the U.S., is on the island with 2 colleagues rendering services to the people of Grenada, especially dealing with COVID-19. Dr. Bonaparte told GBN what it means to him to assist his people during this wave of the COVID-19.
That it was an eye-opener for me to be able to round and see the operation at the hospital, not just the general hospital here in St. George's, but to go to the psychiatric hospital in Mangay and also Princess Alice in St. Andrew. I did visit, but it gives me, I would say, a better understanding of what I need to do, who I need to motivate, what I need to do in terms of helping those who are at the periphery, maybe not up front, they may not be visible, and they need a little bit more assistance, you know.
The group, which comprised his wife as his administrator and a nurse, arrived here on Monday, bringing with them medical supplies that he believes will benefit the medical team at the General Hospital.
We brought, many supplies, as much as we can, face shields, face masks, N95 masks, especially medicine, antibiotics that the hospital needed, steroids that we use for people who have more advanced COVID, and that has been shown to help save lives, and any other thing that they needed. So insulin syringes, regular syringes, gowns, they need gowns.
The physician says he has also rendered his services in other parts of the world that have experienced similar situations to that of Grenada. However, through it all, Dr. Bonaparte says every Grenadian should hold the faith and do not give up hope.
Storms do not last forever. There is a start date and there is an end date. And we may not fully end COVID per se in terms of totally eradicate it, but I believe we can win this battle. I do not believe that the world will end with COVID. And I'm saying that especially to the religious community. So hope is the foundation. I believe that when you lose hope, you lose the purpose, you lose motivation, you lose direction, you give up. Most people, when they lose hope, they say whatever happened, it's like you're throwing your hands up in the air, you're surrendering. And I'm here to say I believe that deep down in every Grenadian there's a spirit of resilience, and I believe that we have gone through many rough, tough times.
A medical Mexican team also arrived here earlier this week to aid Grenada in the process of recovery. Chrislina John, GBN News.
The key word there, resilience, and we do have a story of resilience that we'll get to after this report. We have a COVID survivor who's standing by to speak with us this evening to share his experience. While the U.S. team provides help, a Grenadian family based in Canada has teamed up with other nationals living in the diaspora to provide supplies to people in rural communities. Let's cross once more to Rena Pear.
The Samuel family from Snell Hall, St. Patrick, have lived in Grenada and Canada over the years. After seeing the adverse effects of COVID-19 in Grenada and how it ravished the lives of many over the past month, the family immediately initiated a plan to help their country get through the pandemic by distributing hand sanitizers, masks, gloves, and other PPEs to vulnerable families within the rural communities. Catherine Samuel says that instantly they contacted other families and friends to be part of the drive, and the response was a success.
We got lots of gloves, we got lots of hand sanitizer, wipes, hand soap, disposable shield, face shield, disposable gowns. And we're still waiting on a lot more because people are still contributing every day. We are so honored and blessed in this family that people are just calling and donating so many things to us. And we're so grateful to do that and to contribute back to our community back in Grenada.
Sherry Samuel said that after realizing vulnerable families in the parish and other communities are in need of PPEs, they made a list of who will be targeted.
Because we're from St. Patrick area, we have identified all our villages in St. Patrick. So we're going to make a time together, my husband and I, and we're going to organize ourselves together with maybe nurses and police officers, and we have to get it right to know how we're going to do that. We have the institution, which is some of the homes. We have about 22 homes, Yes, altogether, about 22 homes, institutions, and the people first and foremost in the St. Patrick area.
Simon Samuel says this is just one of many projects his family has embarked on, making it their duty to give back to society.
Our family did send over 400 backpacks to various schools in St. Patrick's. And we also did the cricket gears for the kids in St. David's, which is over a few $1,000 worth of items. We're still getting items, and it's right now we have lots. I would say we all have over 20,000 items to send out. So it gives us this good feeling that as a family we can get together and do this for our country.
The siblings says they will be rolling out more projects in the future. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas reporting.
While medics and Grenadians abroad pitch in to help, health officials continue the number crunching. Sadly, there's been a lot of focus on the number of positive cases and the tally of deaths. Here at the GBN, we seek to bring you positive highlights. And tonight, we are pleased to bring you the story of someone who is thanking the higher being that his name is not listed among those who transitioned. We are now joined live by Mr. Derek McKenzie, who was diagnosed with COVID-19 just over 2.5 weeks ago. And as you see the face, you hear the name, you would recognize it as someone who is associated with the National Bus Association. He is the Public Relations Officer of the National Bus Association. He is a former president of the Grandans Bus Association and now an advisor to the Grandans Bus Association. Mr. Mac, thanks for joining us. And I'm certain...
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long slog for you. Tell us about your experience with COVID-19. When were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed, I think it was on the 6th of early up in the month. And I went to get tested and found out that I actually was positive and was asked to self-isolate.
When you got the news, what ran through your system?
Everything. How am I going to deal with this? And everything came flashing back with what you've been watching, seeing over the news in Grenada and the more developed countries, and as to how I'm going to deal with it. And for persons that are actually being tested positive, it's not a nice situation where you are asked to go and self-isolate, and sometimes you're not prepared for that. Oftentimes you leave when you go home, and your persons, you're not equipped with whatever it is, medications. You have to go home for 2 weeks. And you have to have a stock to be able to stay home for 2 weeks in isolation. And I've been once in a while when I popped and checked the phone, and you realize that on the news you would see that there was complaint that persons actually been coming out after they asked them to quarantine. But sometimes I'm not endorsing that, but sometimes these people have to make a tough decisions. You went home without medication. How are you going to fend for yourself? How are you going to survive that? You go home and sometimes your food supply can't carry you for that distance. So you need a good support system behind you. Luckily for me, I had that where, I could make a phone call and, colleagues and friends and family going to drop off in the veranda food supply or medications and things like that. So it's been hard when it actually hits you that, how you're going to go about it.
So, Mr. Mac, I hope you don't mind me asking you, there's some people who are asymptomatic, there's some people who are on the broad spectrum, and some people who have it really bad. So what was your experience like? What were some of your symptoms? Was it mild?
I happened to have it very, very bad. I had some serious, very serious headache, fevers off and on, loss of taste, loss of smell. I actually sweat a lot. Oftentimes when you have to lie down, you have to spread like a towel or something on the bed because the sheet is not enough to, take up the sweat and so on. Some comfort for me, I tend to lie down on my stomach and without a pillow. And lately after that, I learned that was a good posture because it actually helped you to breathe better and so on. But it was a really, really terrible experience. Lost a few pounds in the process. Not that I'm a big guy, but at least, I'm thankful that I've been able to survive it.
So you ply the bus routes, and 2 weeks ago, the Bus Association said that it was choosing lives over livelihood. Some people could not understand. So now that you have experienced this, you were one of the people supporting the move for the lives over livelihood. What is your message to people who are just saying, well, we need to choose livelihood over lives?
I stand with the decision taken by the bus association. This is an association that actually just been crying out for help and wanted to have protocols in place for safety. And it actually hit home really hard, especially when I got sick when I found out that I was positive and I missed the protocol. I left a lot of money on the road by not picking up persons that was not wearing their masks and so on properly and so on. But I took a stand. And often you're between a rock and a hard place because sometimes people don't want to travel with you after that because they figure, you'll leave them and so on. But there's some stance that you definitely have to take. And the bus association was supposed to take a stand. It's not that they want to shut the country down or anything like that. It's just to have better protocols. I just imagine I was operating and I've been positive and I did not know. So you just don't know who you could get sick from because you have to look at everybody as a positive. And had I not been tested, I would have been operating and probably possibly getting other persons sick. So we don't know who is traveling on the bus. And then you had persons that actually was feeling sick or who was feeling sick, and then their employment asked them to return home. And these are the same buses that they travel on. And it came back to what I was talking about earlier, where people have been forced to take certain decisions because they have to survive, they have to get medication, they have to get food. And if somebody live by themselves and they don't have the support system that they had, then it takes a real difficult choice. Now, as I said, not that I endorse it, but what are you leave them to do? Because people go in isolation without a package, without medication, without these things. So it is pretty difficult. So the bus association took a stand of life over livelihood, and it was the correct decision. And history will show that it was the right decision. I still stand by them with that decision. But I think they would have put structures in place, sanitizing of the buses, giving out masks and giving operators some sanitizers. I think they took the initiative also, or they probably would have sent it to government. Don't know if there's confirmed as yet to reduce the seating capacity, whereby, maybe 3 in a seat or something like that. But for these things to happen, the association would have to get some form of compensation for the loss that they're giving up, because we're already operating right now with less people moving, with high fuel cost and all of that. So I think what the association was looking for is just to partner with government so that, we could cope this. We want the economy to be running. We want to be operating, but we have to talk about sustainability. Yeah. So sustainability and also proper health protocols and people following the guidelines.
Right. And as we wrap it up, Mr. Mark, what was your protocol coming out of COVID-19? Did you get retested, or you were told after 14 days you can just go back to being a bus driver again or bus operator?
Well, I managed to look at some of the news clip, press conference, and so on. And what I gathered is that after 14 days, I assume that you're cleared, so you can go back out. However, in my case, after 14 days, I was tested and I was still positive. So there are persons who the virus would stay in a little longer than normal. I have some concern with that. I believe that everyone should be retested. I understand there is a science that they follow, but I'm a living example that after 14 days tested, I was positive still. I happened to take another test 2 days later, and it came up negative. So I'm free as we speak. But I only make that point to say that there are some persons that the viral load would stay in a little bit longer. And I don't know if it's because I had it, a little rougher or tougher than other persons might have had it. But I think that's something that we need to look into. That's something that actually concerns me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mack. We are happy that you survived this dreadful ordeal and that you can serve as a motivating force for others who may be struggling at this time. So we wish you well and we hope that you continue to recover fully from this and that you can return to life as you knew it prior to COVID-19. Thank you so much. We were speaking there with Mr. Derek McKenzie. He's a COVID survivor, and as we mentioned, he is a public relations officer of the National Bus Association, a former president of the Grand Dance Bus Association. This is Network News. Still to come, can Grenada dream of a winter cruise season? We'll ask the tourism minister after this break. Do stay with us.
Everybody get ready, because on Sunday, October 3rd from 6 p.m., the 29th edition of Waggity Virtual Bingo is on. And this time you can win a whopping $10,000 US. And it's only $10 US per ticket. What are you waiting for? Invite a friend. Tell them all about the fun and excitement when you play Waggity Virtual Bingo. Get your tickets from gotofed.com or numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. All overseas players. Tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, October 3rd. Join the fun online. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo. Remember,
it's the new way to play bingo. Republic Bank remains committed to providing all its valued customers with high quality and personalized service in a safe and comfortable environment. In order to maintain COVID-19 protocols while serving you, it has become necessary to arrange an appointment with your relationship officer or the customer service representative at your branch for the following products and services: loans, overdrafts, credit cards, new accounts to include savings, checking, certificate of deposit, and foreign currency, reactivation of dormant accounts, and private banking for existing customers only. You may also log on to our website, complete the application form for the service required, and submit via email to your specific branch. Requests for appointment can also be emailed to customerservice@republicgrenada.com or via private message on our Facebook page. For private banking service, kindly contact your specific branch via telephone. We look forward to welcoming you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Across Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low? For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in. How do you know if it is working? We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part, and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carrot Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, Grunlick, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And welcome back. Projections for the winter cruise season are hanging in the balance. GBN's Kristalina John has been speaking with Tourism Minister Dr. Clarice Modeste-Kerwin.
It's more like, let's wait and see what happens. Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation Clarice Modeste-Kerwin says cruise calls to Grenada and increased flights would depend on improvement in Grenada's present COVID-19 standing. 2 weeks ago, Grenada was placed on the U.S. Center for Disease Control's red list of countries to avoid travels to. With already a spoke in the wheel, what are the prospects for the cruise industry? The start of the winter cruise season is just 1 month away, and Grenada's present COVID-19 situation at the moment looks grim. Our news desk has been speaking with the tourism minister, who remains optimistic.
We have not been thrown out of the industry. We have our partners still continue to commit to coming into Grenada in terms of airlines, and the cruise lines have done similarly. It is up to us now what we do in Grenada and how we turn the situation around so that we do not miss such a big step that we fall through. I expect our situation will not stay as is, that it will improve. I have seen some improvement.
The minister says people's behavior in terms of adherence to the regulations will be a determining factor. The minister says on Grenada's end, they are preparing, and one such area is training and underground operations.
As you and all of us are aware in Grenada, our situation is not as attractive as it was in terms of the numbers of cases, in terms of the numbers of deaths and all of that, the infection rate and so on. Things have changed dramatically. So with that, coming to the end of October, we'll see what it looks for, because the winter season starts about November. So a lot would depend on that, on our performance in terms of how we manage the disease. And of course, I am counting on you to assist us in letting everybody know that we all have to play our roles to ensure that that we look better statistically than we are looking now.
Kristalina John, GBN News.
It's the little things that matter, which is a big deal for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The words of the NDC caretaker Tevin Andrews as he highlights issues facing the Sister Isles. Andrews continues to clamor for a local government structure. He was speaking on GBN's To The Point program.
I ask myself, is Carriacou and Petite Martinique really part of Grenada?
NDC caretaker Tevin Andrews is advocating for local government for Carriacou and Petite Martinique to counter the disunity within the state of Grenada.
And that is how we will be able to chart the way forward for the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and no cabinet, no 2-member or 15-member team deciding what sort of development takes place in Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
Andrews believes the Sister Isles deserve proper representation to lift the Twin Islands forward into prosperity.
I look at Bequia, Myro, and other little islands. Before those little islands, they were no way around compared to Carriacou and how we were bustling and booming. And today they have long gone past us.
He is doubtful as to whether Carriacou and Petite Martinique are getting a fair share.
Blossom, I cannot understand it. Gas price in Grenada is different from gas price in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Aren't we one?
The NDC caretaker indicates that the cost of travel between the mainland and Carriacou is another matter of concern.
And when you look at the same thing, air travel between Trinidad and Tobago, and you look at the minimal amount of money those people have to pay, or sea travel, and yes, the airlines or the sea ferry might be owned by government in Trinidad and Tobago. But when you look at St. Kitts, it's the same thing. The prices are so low. Why? Because the government recognize that the Sister Isles are just as important as the main islands.
GBN sought a comment from government on the issue of local government. However, up to news time, none was forthcoming. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And it's that time of the evening when we take a look at what our citizen journalists have been up to, capturing things through the camera lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by ClearVision. Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Eyesore reporter's lens captured this creature. Do you know what it is? Some have called attention its serpentine features, but note its tiny size as a disqualifying factor. Others have observed that it apparently begins in the form of a moth and grows on the underside of some plants. You may have had your own encounters with these. Please join the conversation. Share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. We thank our Eyesore reporter for this submission. Continue to send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Of course, 405-3052. Still ahead, National Security Minister celebrating the recovery of police officers who were affected by COVID-19.
Introducing Color by Seasons. 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 Color by Seasons.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
5 lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, Grunlick, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
At one point, they were presenting the numbers, but now they're no longer doing so. Reports are that the number of active COVID-19 cases within the Royal Grenada Police Force is being held for security reasons. However, indications are that more than 100 persons have been listed as recovered within the force. The head of the security forces in the country thinks it is a great thing to happen as officers recover.
The Royal Grenada Police Force, like many entities in Grenada, is hit by COVID-19, with Deputy Commissioner of Police Michael Francois reported infections amongst its rank and file earlier this month.
I can confirm to you now that as it stands of today, we have 82 positive cases within the Royal Grenada Police Force. 11 of those were overnight within the last 24 hours. So as of yesterday, it was 71. And we had 11 in the last 24 hours, so as it stands now, we are 82. This is significantly affecting the operations of the Royal Grenada Police Force. However, with our commitment to do what is expected of us to ensure the safety and security of Grenada, we are pushing ahead.
2 officers have since died from the virus. To date, the number of active COVID-19 cases within the police force is being withheld as a security precaution. Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Dr. Keith Mitchell have stepped forward to offer words of encouragement to his subordinates and express condolences to the families of the deceased, as well as to the rank and file of the Royal Grenada Police Force. In a press release issued on Wednesday, Dr. Mitchell said he is heartened by the rate of recovery among police officers affected by COVID-19. The number given for recovered officers is 133. Noting the impact of the virus on police officers, the Prime Minister said the situation placed an additional burden on the system and required various adjustments to ensure that police operation continued seamlessly. Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "The job of the police force is to protect us, and since the start of the pandemic, they have been making tremendous sacrifices to fulfill that duty. I must thank them for the immense sacrifices they continue to make to ensure the safety and security of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. They deserve all the commendation for the work they are doing as part of our frontline personnel. We have to be grateful for their dedication, and I want to encourage the people of this country not to add to the burden they already face. It is important as law-abiding citizens to play your respective roles in adhering to the recommended protocols." End of quote. In August, the RGPF announced its first COVID case in the St. John district, prompting the Ministry of Health to administer rigorous contact tracing and testing throughout all departments. The country's latest figures show that there are 2,194 active cases, of which 2,185 are among locals and 9 imported. The death toll stands at 85 and 103 people are currently hospitalized. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Thanks for the update, Sherry. In tonight's GBN Health News, we share highlights from an interactive session that zeroed in on COVID-19.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Brentwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Coronavirus, or as doctors and scientists call it, COVID-19, has impacted countless lives since mid-March 2020. Most schools, businesses, and communities quickly changed how they operated to prevent the spread of the virus. Because the disease infected a large number of people all over the world, experts call this a pandemic. It is easy to feel overwhelmed and nervous when thinking about COVID-19. Here are answers to some questions you might still have about coronavirus.
In terms of the spread and stuff, how is it spread and what is community spread? I could take it back to you, Dr. Moses.
Yeah, so how it spread is it spread. In the beginning, when we didn't know much about it, there were a lot of different theories about like touching. But what we have found out over like the last couple of months is that the greatest route of spread is through respiratory droplets. So you cough, and you produce like saliva droplets, or you sneeze and you produce saliva droplets, and that goes to like another person. That is like the main way that COVID is like transmitted.
All right, thanks. What should I do if I become infected with COVID-19 at home, or someone in my house becomes infected with COVID-19?
I think as the previous Dr. Belfon has been pointing out, the absolute safest thing to do if you have the space is to get that person within a room for themselves and to allow them to have a space, a confined space where they can eat and not share a bathroom, not the toilet or anything else, utensils, whatever the case you may have.
Sorry, I just want to bring in the public health perspective on this too. I get people's perspective that, like if I boost my immune system, if I'm healthy, I'm good. But I just want us to remember that this is a virus that is spread to other people, right? And if we think, data may suggest otherwise, that, you'll boost your immune system to a point where if you are exposed to COVID, you would not get infected. That would not happen with everyone, right? Many of us, or I would say I think people should get vaccinated, and that we need to focus on other mitigation efforts is because there are people who, no matter if they steam from here to tomorrow, or if they try any of those things, they're not going to boost their immune system to a point where if they do have COVID, that they are going to A, survive, or B, prevent really serious illness.
Continue to stay safe, follow the COVID-19 protocols, and be sure to take very good care of yourself and loved ones. For this week's GBN Health Update, I am Prisca Campbell reporting.
And this is Network News. Still to come, we look at what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. Prisca Patterson will bring us up to date. We understand that there are lingering questions over the Windies team's selection, and there's a look at racism in sports in the UK. She'll tell you about that and also what's happening across the region and across the world. This is Network News. Do stay with us.
It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Borrow up to $10,000 for all your needs. School supplies, staycation, home renovations, appliances or furniture. You can have it all with a summer everything loan. With competitive interest rates and same-day approvals, you can't beat this loan special. Not a member? Join today to get onto this exciting offer. It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Apply today and take advantage of this exciting offer. Visit the nearest Communal branch or call us at 440-1755 for more information. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Tonight's weather forecast, fair to partly cloudy with a few brief isolated showers. Winds east to northeasterly to east southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Tides will be high at 5 a.m. and low at 11 p.m. Seas slight to moderate with waves 2 to 4 feet in open water. On Friday, the weather will be partly cloudy with a few light to moderate showers, increasing in cloudiness, and showers overnight with a low chance of thunder. On Saturday, the weather forecast will be partly cloudy to cloudy with light to moderate daytime showers and a low chance of thunder. And on Sunday, partly cloudy with a few brief light to moderate showers.
Good evening, sporting fans, and thanks for staying with us. Tonight we begin the news in cricket. Questions continue to linger regarding the West Indies squad named for the T20 Cricket World Cup, which is scheduled to begin next month. Jason Holder, the world's #1 Test cricket all-rounder, is a notable omission from the 15-member primary unit. Instead, he has been named in a 4-man reserved list. Batsman Darren Bravo, pacer Sheldon Cottrell, and spinner Akil Hosin are also on that reserve list. Intense debate also surrounds the selection of veterans Chris Gayle, who celebrated his 42nd birthday 2 days ago, and Ravi Rampal. Rampal, who last played for West Indies 6 years ago, together with Gayle, were given medical exemptions by the Cricket West Indies, paving the way for their selection. Chief Selector Roger Harper said that Shafin Rutherford and Odin Smith were left out after falling short of the CWI fitness standard. Still in cricket, highly rated spinner Sunil Narine misses the World Cup squad because he too was among those who failed to reach the fitness requirement. In other news, the Jamaica Sunshine Girls are set to take on England in 3-match series dubbed the Vitality Roses Reunited, and it will be held in London in November of this year. The teams were originally set to face off in a series in January, but that was postponed due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and strict travel restrictions. The upcoming series will be subject to COVID-19 travel restrictions. The game will be played in front of a maximum capacity stadium, with measures regarding crowd sizes being eased in England. The series will help both teams begin preparations for next year's Commonwealth Games, which will take place in Birmingham, England. The Jamaicans have not played in an official international competition since the World Netball Cup in 2020. Now in football, British footballer Romelu Lukaku says footballers can do more to tackle racism than just taking the knee. He wants social media companies to meet with the players to help combat the issue of online abuse.
You can stop the Super League in one day, but you can stop racism or track somebody that did the insult also in half an hour. You can't do that. I mean, there is no logic to me. We have a lot of players that represent the club from different nationalities, different skin colors, different religions. Also the women's team, where it's the same thing. So I think us as a club, I think we should be an example for the other teams.
Premier League players have taken the knee before every game since the restart in summer of 2020 in protest against racism and discrimination. Lukaku's teammate Marcos Alonso revealed earlier this week that he would no longer make the gesture as he felt it was losing its impact. Instead of taking the knee, he will point to the No to Racism badge on his shirt. Crystal Palace forward Wilfred Zaha adopted a similar stance last season.
I think we should, basically the captains of every team and 4 or 5 players, like the big personalities of every team, should have a meeting with the CEOs of Instagram and the governments and the FA and the PFA, and we should just sit around the table and have a big meeting about it, how we can attack it straight away. But also not only from the men's game, but also from the women's game. I think just all of us together and just have a big meeting and have a conference and just talk about stuff that needs to be addressed.
West Ham gained revenge for Sunday's Premier League defeat against Manchester United by knocking their hosts out of the Carabao Cup at Old Trafford. Manuel Lanzini's 9th-minute effort, his first goal in almost 12 months, proved enough to take David Moyes' men into the last 16. Not even the second-half introductions of Bruno Fernandes and Mason Greenwood could swing the game in the home side's way. West Ham's performance exposed the Manchester United manager's pre-match chat about the strength of his squad and somewhat hollow. And that takes us to the end of the sporting line. Up next, we take a look at what's happening around the Caribbean region and beyond. Tonight we start in Antigua, where the word is no. They are not the biblical mark of the beast, and they are safe and effective. That's the stance of the three prominent church leaders in Antigua. They have thrown their support behind the COVID-19 vaccines. Sherilyn Beezer reports.
President of the Methodist Church in the Caribbean and the Americas, Bishop Everald Galbraith, says the church supports the scientific evidence the vaccines prevent severe illness, hospitalization, and death.
And so we have taken it upon ourselves, and we have done the reflection, both theologically and practically, socially. And so we encourage our members as much as we can to avail themselves to take the vaccine whenever it is available, whichever one is available.
He says this stance is being promoted across the churches over the months. Senior pastor of the St. John's Pentecostal House of Restoration, Apostle Dr. Stephen Andrews, says the Pentecostal assemblies of the West Indies are in support of vaccines and achieving herd immunity.
And for several reasons, of course, which one is that we know for certain that the vaccine boosts your immune system. It's an immune booster. We believe very strongly that the marriage between science and faith is necessary at times to bring about an end result.
Apostle Andrews says he believes more than ever before the church needs to understand COVID-19 is a war and not something just personal. Pentecostals, he says, have seen the need to support the science and combine the science with prayer because faith without works is dead.
And I believe the church should stand hand in hand with the state so that we can conquer this enemy together.
Catholic Bishop for the Diocese of St. John's Bastia, Bishop Robert Llanos, says Pope Francis has been at the forefront in the support for vaccines.
The Catholic Church's position is very clear. The vaccines are safe and you need to get vaccinated, because to not get vaccinated not only endangers your own life, but more importantly endangers the life of innocent others around you. And this is morally unacceptable.
All three church leaders have also dismissed the suggestion in some circles that the vaccines are linked to the mark of the beast referred to in the Bible. Sherilyn Beezer reporting, Fabius News.
Meanwhile, something similar is occurring in St. Lucia. The Christian Council is calling for an end to the politicization of the COVID-19 pandemic. Religious leaders have voiced concern over the ongoing hyper-partisan rhetoric in the wake of the general election. They argue that it is counterproductive in St. Lucia's fight to arrest the deadly fourth wave of the pandemic.
Chairman of the Christian Council in St. Lucia, Christian Glasgow, is making the council's position very clear in light of a high-charged post-election season. The council is appalled over the apparent politicization of the pandemic in certain circles, while people are dying.
The fight against this pandemic is not served by name-calling and finger-pointing, but rather by the unified effort of all citizens to comply with the measures put in place by the authorities to combat this disease.
The Christian Council has thrown its support behind the robust vaccination drive undertaken by the Ministry of Health and Government of St. Lucia.
The Council supports the vaccination drive. Vaccine is not new to St. Lucia. For example, our children have to take particular vaccines in order to enter the education system. These vaccines have saved the lives of many. The Council strongly urges the congregations of its member churches, as well as all citizens, to become vaccinated.
The Christian Council, made up of the Anglican Church, Methodist Church, Roman Catholic Church, Salvation Army, Wesleyan, Holiness, and Lutheran Church, placed a call to all religious houses to play their part in the fight against the virus.
The Council urges its member churches to offer their church compounds and institutions as vaccination sites, and to enable the authorities to reach as many citizens as possible.
As for the debate surrounding the 24-hour Sunday curfew evoked by the statements of ex-Castries Central MP Sarah Flood-Bobre, the council remains firm in its stance on adherence to the public health measures instituted by the state to curb COVID-19 numbers. The Christian Council has committed to sacrifice, prayer, and reflection as it works with other stakeholders in society to fight COVID-19. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Guyana is not closing its borders. Many thought that this would have been the result of a recent declaration by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Kendall Richmond reports from Georgetown.
This position was made clear by the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, on Wednesday.
No, we have our border with Brazil remain closed. Our border with Suriname is also in a way closed. We have very regulated traffic that comes over, and there are requirements for you to travel to Guyana from these land borders.
On Monday, Guyana was added to the Level 4 COVID-19 very high-risk category of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This addition means that the CDC believes all travel to Guyana should be avoided due to the current surge in COVID-19 infections. The latest stance taken by the CDC against Guyana did not, however, come as a surprise to the health minister.
It's no secret we have had increases in cases. So we have to continue to monitor, we have to continue to test.
Minister Anthony noted that there are a lot of Caribbean countries which has been moved to a level 4 on the CDC travel notice list due to the presence of multiple variants circulating in the region.
A recent meeting that I attended virtually, we know that all the different types of variants are circulating in the Caribbean, including Mu. And so the Caribbean, people move quite a lot, and therefore we'll expect that all the variants are going to be here.
While Guyana is yet to officially confirm the presence of the Delta variant, the minister is of the belief that based on the clinical parameters of the new infections, the Delta strain is very much present. So far, over 110 COVID-19 related deaths were recorded in September, the highest number of deaths in a single month since the pandemic began in March 2020. As of Tuesday, a whopping 141 new COVID-19 infections were recorded, increasing the country's active cases to 4,070. Even so, the minister has maintained that there will be no closure of any additional borders. At present, the border at Lethem is closed. However, it is opened weekly on Thursdays to allow the movement of goods. The minister noted that this arrangement with Brazil will continue until there is a reduction in cases. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, Kendall Richmond.
And that's it for a look at the regional developments. Up next, a review of tonight's top stories with Odette Campbell.
Recapping the main points in the news this evening, COVID-19 survivor Derek McKenzie, he spoke with us earlier, telling a compelling story about how he survived his arduous battle with the virus. He's counting his blessings to be listed among the living. St. Andrew businesswoman made a passionate appeal for help yesterday on GBN News. Tonight, the government is making it clear that assistance is available through the stimulus package. It's not true. The government's response to claims that stimulus grant recipients will be taxed or required required to pay back the funds received. Tourism Minister in wait-and-see mode for upcoming cruise season. Canadian doctor comes home to help local medical team and nationals in Canada pitch in with medical supplies. Prime Minister and Minister for National Security celebrating recovery of more than 100 police officers. And in our look around the region and the wide and wonderful world of sports, what we found was that Guyana has no plans of closing its borders despite the CDC level 4 ranking. And in sports, Romelu Lukaku calls for players summit with social media companies to tackle racism. That's it for our news and current affairs presentation this evening. If you miss any part of this newscast, you can catch up with us on our social media platforms. We are on the Facebook page and the GBN YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Odette Campbell. We'll see you again tomorrow, the start of weekend number 3 in lockdown. No movement weekend.